China in shock. Yu Menglong's body suddenly found amid a scene that left everyone stunned. Began as a whisper online, an unconfirmed post, a single line buried beneath thousands of comments. But within minutes, it exploded into the headline no one ever wanted to read. Yu Menglong's body has been found. The news hit like an earthquake. Across China, and soon, across the world, people froze. Fans broke down in disbelief, unable to process what they were seeing. After weeks of silence, speculation, and fading hope, the story everyone feared was suddenly real. But what truly shocked the nation wasn't just that Yu Menglong was gone. It was how, and where, he was found. Hold on tight, K-drama family. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. The discovery had happened early in the morning, just after dawn. A local park worker in the outskirts of Beijing reported seeing an unfamiliar black vehicle parked beside the lake, its doors slightly open, the interior coated in dew. At first, it seemed abandoned. But when police arrived minutes later and opened the back door, they froze. There, seated in the back seat, was Yu Menglong. Still. Peaceful. As if asleep. His head rested gently against the window, his hands folded neatly in his lap. There were no visible signs of struggle, no chaos, no violence. Just calm, an eerie, heartbreaking calm that left everyone speechless. The scene that stunned investigators inside the vehicle was a single white rose placed on the passenger seat. Beside it, a handwritten note, folded carefully. On the note was one sentence, "I'm sorry. Please tell them I tried." Underneath lay his phone, unlocked, screen glowing with a video file saved to the home screen. Its title read, "For the World." When investigators pressed play, the sound of his voice filled the car. It was shaky but soft, calm, like someone finally at peace. "If you're hearing this, please don't be sad. I didn't run away. I just reached the end of what I could carry." He paused. The faint sound of rain hit the car roof. "I want the world to know I didn't leave in anger. I leave with love, for my family, my friends, and everyone who ever believed in me." Then, almost whispering, he added, "Don't look for villains in my story. Just remember me as I was, the man who smiled, even when it hurt." That was the last thing he ever said. The location that raised questions: the car was parked at Lianhua Lake, a quiet place known for being Yu's favorite spot during his early career. Friends say it's where he often went to breathe, to escape the noise of fame and pressure. But what shocked investigators was how deliberately everything was arranged. No signs of panic. No broken glass. No struggle. Even the rose, still fresh, seemed symbolic, as if chosen to send a final message. Forensics confirmed the time of death to be sometime around 2:40 a.m., roughly 6 hours before his body was discovered. How he got there, and who, if anyone, was with him, remains under investigation. The nation reacts by mid-morning, the entire internet was on fire. Hashtags like hashtag rest in peace Yu Menglong, hashtag we will remember you, and hashtag China mourns Yu Menglong flooded every platform. Fans wept openly on live streams. Others gathered outside his old filming studios, lighting candles, leaving flowers, singing his songs. In Beijing, crowds formed spontaneously at his last known apartment, standing in silence, holding photos and handwritten letters. Television stations interrupted their broadcasts. Music channels played his old tracks, one after another, as anchors spoke through tears. And as night fell, the skyline of Beijing lit up with a single phrase projected across buildings: "Thank you, Yu Menglong." The mother's arrival: when Yu's mother arrived at the scene later that day, the crowd parted in silence. She walked toward the car slowly, supported by two relatives, tears streaming down her face. When she saw him, she didn't scream. She simply placed her hand against the car window and whispered, "You can rest now, my son." Her quiet grief brought even the officers to tears. One eyewitness said, "It was like watching a mother touch the sky, reaching for something she knew she could never hold again. What the police revealed that evening, the Beijing Metropolitan Police held a brief press conference. They confirmed Yu Menglong's identity and stated that preliminary evidence suggests no foul play. But not everyone believes that. Because while the official statement insists this was a tragic self-inflicted act, too many details remain unexplained. The unidentified figure seen outside his apartment days before. The missing flash drive mentioned in his hidden camera message. The sudden removal of all CCTV footage from the street where he lived. Even his manager, Lin Wei, appeared unconvinced, posting a now-deleted message. He said he was being watched. You think that's a coincidence? The post vanished within minutes. But screenshots spread instantly. The chilling timeline when investigators retraced his final hours, a haunting pattern emerged. At 10:21 p.m., Yu was seen leaving his apartment building wearing the same jacket seen in the CCTV from his living room. He drove alone. At 11:07 p.m., traffic cameras caught his car heading toward the lake. At 1:46 a.m., witnesses nearby reported hearing faint music playing by the water, one of Yu's own songs, softly echoing through the quiet night. By 2:40 a.m., the music stopped. Silence returned. And that silence has not lifted since. The nation in mourning for millions. This isn't just the loss of a celebrity, it's the loss of an era. Yu Menglong represented something rare, a soul too kind for the world that made him famous. His performances weren't just acting, they were windows into his heart. And now, that heart has stopped beating, leaving behind a nation that doesn't know how to say goodbye. In Shanghai, fans lit 10,000 candles along the riverbank, forming the words, "We'll keep your light alive." In Chengdu, students released sky lanterns with messages like, "You're free now, long long." It wasn't just grief, it was collective heartbreak. The final investigation twist late that night, new evidence surfaced. A park security guard claimed to have seen another car, a black sedan, parked near Yu's around 2 a.m. It left minutes before the time investigators believe Yu passed away. The footage is now being reviewed. And while police refuse to comment, insiders whisper that the vehicle's plate numbers match one belonging to a known associate of one of the four men from the original alley footage. If true, everything changes. The unfinished goodbye back at Lianhua Lake, the flowers continue to pile high. Fans come and go in quiet reverence. They leave behind candles, photos, and handwritten letters, each one ending with the same phrase he once said in his final message, "Don't be afraid of the dark." And somewhere in that stillness, by the edge of the water where he took his last breath, people swear they can hear a faint voice carried by the wind. A whisper. A promise. A farewell. I tried. The media storm within hours, every major entertainment network broke their schedules. Anchors spoke in hushed tones. Photos of Yu's most iconic moments filled the screens, him on stage, bowing to his fans, him laughing between takes, him clutching his chest at an award show, eyes glistening as he thanked his mother. But the focus soon shifted. Reporters began to ask, what really happened that night? Police confirmed that an investigation was underway. The footage found in his home had been taken into evidence. Forensic experts were reviewing every frame, every timestamp, every unexplained sound. Yet for all their analysis, one question lingered above all. What had Yu Menglong been trying to tell the world before the end? The digital afterlife online, fans turned social media into a memorial. Hashtags like #Remember Yu Menglong and #LongLong Forever trended for weeks. Fans lit digital candles, posted clips of his laughter, shared stories of how his songs had carried them through their own pain. One comment, written by a young woman from Guangzhou, summed up what millions felt. He gave us comfort when he was hurting. We didn't even notice. Maybe that's what hurts the most. Others began analyzing every post he had made in the months leading up to the tragedy, every lyric, every caption, every photo that might have hinted at something deeper. And then, one post resurfaced, a short video of Yu standing by the sea, whispering the words, "Peace doesn't always mean silence. Sometimes it's the sound of letting go." That video would go viral overnight. The investigation deepens behind closed doors. Investigators pieced together timelines, messages, and camera footage. They discovered that Yu had spent his last days meeting close friends, returning calls he'd ignored for months, and visiting places that once inspired him, an old music studio, a quiet cafe, a park where he used to write lyrics as a trainee. But what struck them most was how calm he had seemed. Almost as if he knew he was preparing to leave something behind, something bigger than himself. And then came the breakthrough. Inside his personal computer, the same one where he kept unfinished songs, they found an unreleased project titled simply, The Other Side of the Light. It wasn't a music album. It was a documentary. Yu had been secretly filming behind-the-scenes footage of his life, his struggles, his exhaustion, his quiet reflections on fame. In one clip, he said softly to the camera, "People think we shine all the time. But sometimes, light burns." That footage would later become the foundation of a posthumous film released by his management, honoring his voice and vision, a raw, unfiltered look at the human cost of perfection.